So in discussion of Keynote 189, this was a groundbreaking study in which patients with non-squamous lung cancer received carboplatin and pemetrexed standard histology-based chemotherapy with or without pembrolizumab. And clearly all outcome measures were better. Overall survival, response rate, progression-free survival, and duration of response. So this is clearly a very positive trial. Certainly in the United States has become a major standard of care in upfront treatment of metastatic lung cancer. It does have prolonged exposure to chemotherapy, so it has 4 cycles of platinum-based chemotherapy and then potentially ongoing pemetrexed, but certainly a very groundbreaking study and a standard of care that has really improved the outcome of a lot of lung cancer patients. So the Empower 130 was another randomized trial in non-squamous lung cancer. And it was carboplatin, nab-paclitaxel or Abraxane with or without atezolizumab. And it was a positive trial where the overall survival and other outcomes were clearly superior to chemotherapy. It is a different chemotherapy backbone than other trials in the non-squamous setting. Most of the other trials for the Keynote trial and the Checkmate 9LA use pemetrexed-based treatment. So clearly a positive trial, but with a different chemotherapy backbone with immune therapy added into it. The Empower 150 study was a more complicated study and was looking to really push the envelope with treatment for non-small cell lung cancer. One of the standards of care for lung cancer, adenocarcinomas, is for platinum chemotherapy, a taxane with bevacizumab. And a major component of this trial was to look at the Taxol, paclitaxel, bevacizumab regimen with or without atezolizumab. And it clearly did show an improvement in survival compared to the triplet backbone. So it was a positive trial, FDA approved. What's not clear from this is whether or not the quadruplet therapy is better than, for instance, chemotherapy plus pembrolizumab, or the 130 regimen of carboplatin, nab-paclitaxel, and atezolizumab. So I think that's clearly a positive trial and is FDA approved. Exactly where it fits in for standard of care is not entirely clear, but certainly a very interesting and promising therapy. One subset analysis in this trial was particularly interesting. In general, immune therapy does not work so well in EGFR mutated lung cancers for various reasons. And in this particular trial, there were about 100 patients who were EGFR positive that were included. And the experimental regimen with atezolizumab clearly looked better compared to the chemotherapy and bevacizumab alone. So I think that's a very, while it's kind of retrospective and wasn't powered to answer the question whether this was better, I think it's a very intriguing result. And I think there are additional studies coming out now to really test the hypothesis that this might be the best combination in EGFR mutated lung cancer.